Hey guys, I'm Captain Chris Velasquez of Manolin Charters and Mouths of the Merrimack. A lot of people keep asking me recently, what exactly is Mouths of the Merrimack? What is it that you guys do? And how do I become involved? In this video, we're going to talk about Mouths of the Merrimack's vision for education and entertainment to help every angler become better at catching fish and having more fun. Okay, so thank you for staying for the video. One thing I want to talk about is the name Mouse of the Merrimack. Where does it come from? Mouse of the Merrimack is because there was a group of us who are charter captains, have been fishing together our entire lives since we were 5 years old, and it's kind of an homage to where we fish. We fish in the Merrimack River in the northern part of Massachusetts and Newburyport, Massachusetts. For those of you that don't know, the mouth of the Merrimack River is one of the most infamous fishing spots in the country. The mouth is just basically the inlet. Okay. So when we came up with this idea for a podcast, my cousin Dan and I, we were thinking of names, and Mouths of the Merrimack is kind of a play on words because, your mouse, we're talking during the podcast. And that's kind of how it started when Dan and I were just goofing around one day and we wanted to make a podcast just for fun. Well, since then, it's kind of taken on a life of its own, and we wanted to add more to it. So we brought in a few of our friends that are charter captains to create some content and create a community for anglers who are trying to engage, meet new people, and educate themselves to become better fishermen. All right. So not only do we offer podcasts, we also have a private membership where you get a lot of access to things like blogcasts, extra bonus podcast features, a private forum, discounts at local shops and fishing stores. So let's take a minute. Let's go to the computer because our website is really the hub of what we're about. Okay. So let's say you go to www.mouseofthemerrimack.com. This is going to be a little bit different because once you're logged in as a member, you can't log out. So this original screen is going to change a little bit once this video is up. But basically, the Mouse of the Merrimack is an online community designed to educate, entertain, and engage anglers of all skill levels and locations. The content and the things that we put out are really by professional charter captains and industry members. Our paid members will have access to tools that will definitely help them become a better fisherman. To become a member, it's $7 per month, and you sign up just by clicking here and following the prompts. First, though, let's talk about if you're not a member, what do you have access to? So, this is our website, and up here in the home bar, you can go to our podcast video section. Okay. And we have our full length podcasts, which are available on Spotify. This is just kind of another home run. So if you go to Spotify and look up Mouse of the Merrimack, you can become a member. That site won't come up for you right there. So here, we're just starting our video process here. So we just recorded our first full length video podcast. We're going to be doing one a week all the way till May. So it's January 15th right now. So we have, I think, about 22 guests already lined up for the podcast. We also, if you're new to this, new to Mouse on the Merrimack, we also have our older podcasts, okay, from the past year that we did. Those are just audio. Those are also available on Spotify, okay? Um, in addition to the podcast, okay, you can just click here. You can go on Spotify. We also offer blogs, and this was kind of the original intent of the Mouse of the Merrimack. The issue is with me having a full-time job and my charter season's super busy, and the amount of time it takes to create and edit a blog was just unfathomable. And I'm not a professional writer, so we're making the shift more towards video. But we still have the blogs in here for some of the things that we talked about throughout the season between stories. Okay, like right there, we get the story of a tuna that got eaten by a mako. Okay, some new lures that we tried out, strategies, new lures, how to deal with greenheads. Anybody up here in the North Shore, that's definitely a good read. Yeah, so you have access to all those blogs. One of the things we also do is we run events. So for our members, we're going to be doing a striper school course in March. We'll have more details coming up about that in a couple weeks. To do that, you just have to click and become a member to sign up. This is the Plum Island Surfcaster Show. Again, one of the parts that we want to do at Mouths of the Merrimack is we want to amplify local businesses, guys that have supported us as fishermen throughout the years and kind of work hand in hand in them. So another fishing club in our area is the Plum Island Surfcaster Show, where we'll have a booth talking about Mouths of the Merrimack, and I'm actually going to be giving a presentation on seasonal striper strategies. And then later on, right now, we're going to be doing the second annual Mouths of the Merrimack Fishing Fair. I think we're going to call it the Fishing Trade Show this year, actually. And, all the information for that is there. There are some other events that we're going to do, especially for members, where we're going to do some live streaming. We're going to have some raffles. We're going to have some contests. So membership gives you those perks for that. And like I said, I'm also a charter captain. So if you're interested, Miles of the I run Manolin charters out of Salisbury, Mass. Okay, and this is just another way to get to our website. So, all right, so that's if you're not a member, you're just checking out the site. Those are the things that we give out for free. Okay, so now let's talk about what happens if you're a member. All right, you're still gonna have the same homepage when you come in the first time. Except after you sign up to be a member, you're going to have this members only tab. And that's going to take you to the members homepage that's going to give you access to our content. I just want you to remember that our content goes into deep dives. And now that we're going to have video involved here, we're going to go into really deep about why and how we do the things we do. Okay? So, anyways, I'll let that speak for itself in a minute. So, if we go to our member homepage, you still have access to all the videos like we did earlier. Okay, that's not going to change. And again, you can go through Spotify. You don't have to go directly through on this. Sorry, it's just taking a minute to load because of the screen share. We'll just go back. Okay, but now that we have video, we're going to be doing a lot of members only bonus podcast segments and video shorts. So, things that we talk about in our podcast, we're going to give you like an extra half hour or so, whatever we end up doing. Like, for example, our first recorded with video podcast, um, we took an extra half hour and talked about a guide to buying boats this time of year. If you're somebody who's either never bought a boat or even if you're somebody looking for another one. And then we have some clips of our podcast as well. These will also be available on YouTube. So, in terms of the clips. So, see here it says 28 members only. Okay, that would be only for our members. The shorts and everything will be up on YouTube. So you could also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Mouths of the Merrimack, to get updated straight from there. Sometimes that's a little bit easier, but you will not get the special ones through YouTube. I might make that a little bit different, make it a little more clear. Okay, again, when we click here, still upcoming events, okay, just like before. Now, here's a really big aspect of the Mouths of the Merrimack. It's the members only forum. Okay, so this is a private forum for our members to discuss things that are happening out in the water. Questions, you can see here we have the new mackerel limits. All right, people are talking about that. 2023 prep for your boats. We had a fantastic tuna thread this year where a lot of our members were sharing information and got on a really good tuna bite kind of before everybody else had been catching on to it. And basically, this is just a way for people to get together and talk about. I think some of our members, we have to do a video to kind of get them logged on to the forum because that's really a huge bonus. This is our member discount page. I'm not going to go into it because we have codes on there for people to type in order to get the discount. So you got to subscribe. You got to be a charter for that. I'm sorry, not a charter, a member for that. And then we have members only blogs. So on the free version, we give you some blogs with the basic information. Some of it's shared for everybody. But when it comes to real hardcore fishing knowledge, we're talking about blogs that have way more detail. Like, for instance, this one right here wasn't available for free. The reflections and lesson learns of the fishing season. Okay. Fall run stripers, a new strategy that we talked about. We started calling it the pump and dump. All right. Those are the types of things that, if you are a member here, you're going to learn, add to your repertoire, and just go into a lot of detail. Then after that, whether it's a blog, whether it's a podcast, we can talk about it on the forum with other fishermen from all different skill levels, from all different areas. Right now, we got people down from Cape Cod up to Maine who are finding our information useful. It's not really specific to the Merrimack. Obviously, the things that I talk about might be. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much where you're going to get your fishing reports during the season, too. Um, yeah, guys, so that's what we're all about. We're all about engaging the community and bringing people together